So this table is a good example of what I was trying to describe in at some other point. I was talking about how I had applied for a design assistant job with this very small, almost like a licensing company that would, it's like 3-person team. Just worked out a very small space in Brooklyn, about the size of this room. It was kept immaculately organized and clean. He was very good at just, I don't know, having everything in its right place and being very efficient, which I really kind of admire, but it was stressful. And I had to go just work with them for like a week and see how we vibed and if I'd be interested and if they were interested. And it was really everything that they did was from start to finish, from pattern to the final sewing and production of a look for a designer. They did a lot of high-end design, so it's pretty cool. And he had made one big center table like this, where, yeah, he put glass on top and then coiled those like string lights through the middle here. And that way you can use it for pattern making with just paperweights. Say you're transferring a pattern that you've been working on, it's gone kind of messy. You want to transfer it to a brand new clean sheet of paper. So you want to trace the pattern that you've created to, a new sheet of paper and a clean pattern piece. Usually what they do, what I've seen mostly, is just a regular table or a cork top, like a bulletin board type table. So you use pins, and even still you end up having to put pins in the notches and markings, and the new pattern piece will still have little pin dots. This way you just use paperweights and you could see the seam allowances and notches and markings and all that through the paper from the light below. And yeah, it was just really fast and efficient and easy. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a really good idea. Simple, I mean, it's basically a light table, but I just hadn't seen it used that way for patterning so much in a lot of design studios. So it just made it a lot easier. It's like when you make your first pattern, usually you are going to add a 1/2-inch seam allowance to the sides, and because that sometimes determines the dart shape and all that. So when you transfer to a new sheet of paper, the seam allowance is already going to be included, but as far as like notches and all that stuff goes, it's just markings of how to align the pattern pieces. It's just really fast this way, so you don't have to lift up the piece of paper and see if you were on the dot, or, you know, if it aligned perfectly or if it got shifted somehow. You can see as you're going, because of the light, the exact, tracing. So it's great. It's just a little tip for people who might be doing fashion design patterning.